What's going down, brothers? Brother Stevanius here. This is Command Center Wargaming. Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we're going to be having a look at a Necron army that I've got here. Now, a lot of it's unpainted, but the reason is a lock basically made a request that we do some Necron painting videos with the new paints coming out from Games Workshop. And so yeah, we're going to go through, I'm going to grab those. They're probably going to come out on the 25th. And as we aren't shills, we don't get stuff early from Games Workshops. So that's fine, all good, because I don't like towing the party line. But we're going to be doing some painting tutorials using those. I'm going to be comparing them with Vallejo fluorescent paints and stuff like that, and give the Games Workshop paints a run for their money. Also combining and comparing them with other metallics as well. So if you're into that kind of thing, don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and let's do it. Now you can see I've got some Alpha Legion back here. I got some Alpha Legion back here. I got some Alpha Legion, you know, over here in this bloody batch over here, just covered with Alpha Legion. I got a massive game coming up at Mortal events in about 2 weeks' time. It's going to be huge. 3,000 points, active Heresy, Siege Wars, a lot of heavy armor coming in. Probably going to see some Titans as well. So that's going to be great. And what I'll do is, I don't know if I'll be able to film it, the actual games, but what I'll do is I'll take some photos and I'll chuck them up on the channel and do that, and yeah, and do some post-mortems. I might be able to do some interviews there, just see how it all goes, really. So it should be pretty fantastic. There's a lot of really good painted armies there. So yeah, today's video, let's just see what we got in the box over here. It's a Boom Boom Shiba, the Kalima. Let's get the Kalima. It's a joke from, hopefully you've seen Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. Otherwise you just think I'm going to be crazy, but that's all right, you know, who cares. Kalima! Yeah, so we've got some Necrons here. This is part of my Necron army. Now, a lot of it's unpainted, but this is one of the things I painted up. It's a while ago. I'll just put it up close to the camera, but we'll have a better look at these later. And I'll basically go through and talk about these. Now, this is the traditional scheme of the Necron army. You can see I've got like my edge highlights and stuff going on there. A lot of people, they like to sort of color these, the diamonds and stuff like that. I probably could have done that, but I don't know. I actually like them transparent as they are. Then let's take a look at these Necron boxes I've got here and see what we can't get ready for painting for future tutorials and stuff like that. Two of the tutorials I want to do is basically speed painting Necrons and also batch speed painting Necrons. And there's going to be a whole lot more coming as well. We will be doing, you know, everything else. Mitchell Shuey has requested that we also do some more Star Wars Armada, which I'll definitely do, because down here I'll pull out another Kalima, and there's a bit of Armada just kicking around there on the floor. So yeah, we've got to do something with all that, because that's all here too. And fantastic. All right, everybody, let's get on with the video, and I'll see you in there. Let's take a look at my unfinished Necron army. There's a pretty big story about that as well. It's a pretty funny one. Bit of a life experience there. And yeah. All right, I'll catch you in there. All right, brothers, with the spiel over, let's take a look at some crons. So the first box is basically going to be infantry. The second box will then be heavy support and Lords of War. And then the third box will be like fast attack. Now, there's no other reason for this except that basically it's just the way I stack the boxes. As you can see, Command Center is a bit of a mess at the moment because there is a massive battle about to happen in 2 weeks, and I need to get the boys up and running for the event's 3,000 points. So anyway, so first up in the box, we have our Warriors and Immortals. So there's got a few Warriors. Now, I actually have another box of Warriors somewhere. I wasn't able to find them, but they are here somewhere. I've got boxes of this stuff. So these are the old models, obviously, by the way. So, you know, the new box is coming, the Indomitus box, and I'm going to get that. I'll be honest with you guys. I actually think that these older models are fine for Necrons. Here you could see that, like, I don't have the Gauss tubes on them, that sort of green tube. I'll probably have to reorder those because I do have them somewhere, but I'll have to dig them up, so it's faster for me to reorder them. Now, all this is right here is simply lead belcher, dry brushed over black. That is literally it. And that's the thing with Necrons, like I get anything, and please don't get upset with me, Necron players. You know, I get that anything is hard to paint to like a heavy metal standard, But, you know, in my opinion, Necrons are very, very, very easy to get up and running. Get your army painted sort of tabletop standard, you know, onto the field very fast, okay? So, as Spect said the other day, he said that, like, you know, Steve, he corrected it, he was correct. So, like, tabletop standard means that it's more than, like, you know, 3 colours. To me, I keep saying tabletop standard is like just, you know, really well painted, you know, but Spect is actually correct there. So you can check out his channel also. He's got a fantastic channel there. So, all right, so yeah, we got Immortals here. These guys have got the double Gauss, and then you've basically got the Warriors. There's heaps of these guys. So what I'll do is with the tutorials, I'll just go through. I'll probably just do like one guy, and then we'll basically go through, we'll do batch painting of a squad, right? We'll probably do like a squad of 5, all right? So, fantastic. And then we've got some more warriors here. And like I said, there's another box of warriors as well. But you can see here, there's just basically, you know, the warrior with his Gauss rifle. I have many warriors. The reason is because I used to spam them in 7th edition because they were just brutal. So, awesome. So, okay. Then we got some more infantry, but these aren't all warriors, though. So, we've got, basically here, more warriors up the top. And then here we've got the, now, these are kind of like the new pariahs. And they're really brutal in close combat as well. They used to have like a formation with the Triarch Stalker, which is really cool, which I used to run all the time. And these guys used to kick butt. They're really good melee army. You had like heaps of attacks and stuff as well. You can see here this isn't actually assembled because the way I paint, I sometimes leave stuff unassembled. I actually stopped doing that now. I used to do it all the time, but I actually stopped doing it now because I just found that it just wasn't worth the effort. I don't know why I started it here because, you know, it is Necrons, so like they're going to be pretty easy to paint, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, there's also commanders as well. I don't think that they must be in another box somewhere, which sucks. But I'll get them out when we do the army painting or the big batch paint. I'll find them. I'll dig them up by then, and you can have a look. So yeah, there's more of my dudes there. So yeah, I mean, like I tried to get these painted really fast, as you can see, even if it was just like, you know, like doing lead belcher dry brushes over the top. But one of the problems, like I bought these like in 7th, but then I started playing more in 8th as well. One of the problems I keep running into with Warhammer 40k 8th edition is the fact that, like, you know, stuff changes, the meta moves that fast that I can't actually finish painting stuff, you know, and then they release more new stuff. You know, and that's probably all right, like if you're just some person who does YouTube full time, or like if you don't have a job or whatever, or, you know, you're a young bloke and you're cool to just sit at home and just do this stuff all day. But, you know, as a sort of like dude in his 30s, you know, like I have a very extensive work life, and, you know, and it's hard to like just sit here painting stuff all day. But anyway, so these are the Scarabs. Now these are the old ones. Obviously there's new ones now. But you know what? I don't think there's a problem with these. I don't, like, Necrons are just this sort of like, you know, undead army of robots. Like, I honestly don't have a problem with these models. I think it's good that they updated the models. But, you know, I don't think I would have still played them. It's just they just needed their rules fixed. There's one of my lords, and he, in his hand there, he has what we call a resurrection orb. And this is basically to, like, raise the dead, reanimate the other Necrons. All right, some rules. I'll go through rules later. We might get into Necrons a bit on the channel. I used to be heaps into them, like in terms of rules. I used to be heaps into them in 7th and like at the beginning of 8th. But then they just got like power creeped out. And it actually worked out for me too really well because I'm playing more Horus Heresy lately. It would be really fast for me to get a Necron army up and play them and paint them up so I can start doing some games of 40k. So I've got to sort of really pick my battles here, guys, girls, and people, because yeah. And then here we go. There's another Lord. So I've got 2 of those Lords with the Resurrection Orbs. He's undercoated at least. I know Locke's just going to give me a bucket load of crap for seeing all this unpainted stuff again, but that's okay. So fantastic. And here's another one. So this guy is a bit different. Or am I just missing something? No, he's different. So he doesn't have any legs, but he's not meant to have legs. He's one of the Forge World models, I believe. So yeah, you could tell there because it's resin and his pike is bent. So I'll need to fix that. I can't remember what this guy's called. He's one of the kings. You guys let me know in the comments down below. And you know what? We don't need these commanders now anyway, so I should stop bitching and put away my soy drinks because, you know, we got epic models coming out. Like, all I really need this old army for is just to fill up the troop gaps and stuff like that, you know? So there's another commander as well. So, yeah, so it's cool. The only problem with these models, yeah, they could be a bit flimsy and, like, a lot of these sticks can break off and stuff like that, as good as they are. But what can you do? I'll have to get this under the hairdryer or run it under hot water and get this going. But, you know, it's all good. All good in the hood. Yeah. So as you can see, I don't think I need much more than the Indomitus box to start getting my Necrons going again. And, okay, so in here we've got some, I think they were called Tomb Raiders or Crypt Raiders or something like that. I'll have to check them out. So yeah, they're basically the Necron's fast attack, and I believe I've got about 20 or 30 of these scattered around. There was a time when they were really, really good, and I just went and bought like a whole stack of them, like literally like I think 3 or 4 packets of them. So I got a fair few of them around. Whether they're in these boxes, I don't know. I'm gonna have to have, because I know, look guys, I know for a fact I've got an absolute shit ton more. What do you call it? Necron warriors. So that's nothing. There's heaps more somewhere, but I've just got to dig them up. There's a lot of Warhammer in here. And yeah. So then I've got Wraiths. Now I've got a lot of Wraiths. You'll see that soon. These are Wraiths that I haven't painted yet, but I have some other Wraiths as well, which I'll do it. These are the newer Wraiths. Really love this model. And some more Tomb Raiders here, or Crypt Raiders, whatever they're called. So yeah. Alright, so that's that one. And I've got a funny story to tell you about this next lot. So this is all stuff I've bought like from GW back before it wouldn't be missed. And now like a lot of this stuff here is actually stuff that I bought. Like I bought these in a batch, and not all of it. Some of it here's stuff I bought from GW. But a lot of it's stuff that I bought. Like one day, I'll tell you this story just really quickly. So I was living with a CEO of a games company at the time, and he was a very big Warhammer player. And what happened was we got word that like off a guy who doesn't work for Games Workshop anymore, but he used to work for Games Workshop, and he got a tip off that one of the guys that they were selling stuff to, one of the resellers, excuse me, was closing down. And that he was like offload because he was having a kid, and his wife basically said to him, you got to sort of grow up a bit now. Okay, you can spend money on this stuff, and I think he was doing some other hobbies at the time, which I won't mention on camera. But he basically couldn't afford to do it anymore. His business wasn't doing so good, and so what happened was we got word that there was some epic Warhammer sales going on. And basically what happened is we busted out of the apartment like in the Batmobile. We drove over to Bondi, and we picked up I picked up like all these Necrons, like not all of these, but most of these in the second box of this box, for about, I think it was about $500. And what happened was I had like, I think $500 or $600 in my bank account, a spendings account at the time. And then I had a dinner with the girl I was dating's parents, meet the parents at the time. And what happened was, it's pretty crazy, because this is like one of my Warhammer memories. I went there, I said to myself, all right, well look, I needed to have the money available in my spendings account on my card, to be able to go through and, like, you know, buy dinner for this chick's parents. But I said, it's all good. I could just transfer money out later, right? So I'm just going to go, this is like an epic deal. I just couldn't, like, resist it. And, you know, like all these boxes of poxes and Necrons. And I said, I'm just going to have to go in. I'm just going to do it. So I went out, buy the Necrons. Like, bank account was at like $1 or something after it. Was really happy. I'd saved like heaps of money because, like, you know. And then what happened is the bank I was with, they must have got stuffed up. And the internet banking became unavailable. And no one could withdraw their money for 3 days. So anyway, it was a massive debacle because then I basically... I was lucky. I was able to lend money off a friend at the time, but I couldn't access my bank account. So I couldn't get money out to pay for dinner for the girl's parents. And I'm sure that you can imagine, like, how that would have gone down. And but I had to be honest with her, and I said, look, you know, this is what's happening. And I didn't tell her it went on Warhammer, obviously, but like... it did. It went on Warhammer. So, but anyway, we ended up breaking up after that, and thankfully I did because she was a nutcase, and I can tell you, like, you know, I always wanted... Anyway, I'll stop that there, but she was a nutcase, and I'm glad Warhammer saved me there. Warhammer allowed me to dodge that bullet. So, you know, Adam Fox and I have had a few conversations in this regard, and... we'll leave that one there, but it's just a very interesting story I wanted to share with you guys. So anyway, over here, this is the obelisk, one of my obelisks. It'd be cool to do that up. I've also got a Tesseract vault somewhere here. It's not in this box. It must be in another box. There's a part broken off here, 2 parts. They'll be in the boxes here somewhere, there's parts. And I really like this model. Not so good on the tabletop in 8th, unfortunately. The games that I played in 8th, this didn't really perform too well. It sort of like, the issue is it had this like aerial denial system built into it, and the problem was one of the biggest strengths of my Necron army was basically using my croissant flyers or doom scythes, whatever they were called, and you know, this would actually negative impact your units as well as theirs, which is pretty brutal. So from memory. Anyway, there's got my 2 monoliths. So the one monolith you saw before, probably better lighting on it now though. And I was really happy with this one, how it came out. So what I tried to do is I tried to get like a lot of blending going on the blacks and stuff like that. And you can see here, you know, you've sort of got the glowing there. It's basically, look, it's just a Necron, you know, standard Necron paint scheme really. I sort of just wanted to go for that. I didn't really want to do anything too nuts with it. And I don't mind the old sort of green and grey and black sort of paint schemes because, you know, I love the Borg from Star Trek, you know. And so I was happy to have Borg Necrons, not a problem. But that's it there, yeah. And like, I don't know, I like it. But I also like the blue ones as well. So I'm thinking it'd be cool to sort of do some of the blue Necrons as well, which might be awesome. So yeah, that's that one there. Got the Gauss flayers and stuff like that, the tubes in there. I'll probably have to order more of them on the net. You can actually get different colour tubes as well for Necrons. You don't have to do it green, which is pretty awesome. Alright, so yeah, more flurry of unpainted stuff. That was my, I don't think that was my Annihilation Barge. It was the repair one. I can't remember the name of it now, but anyway. That's basically the one that used to give him repair buffs. It's actually a pretty good unit to run one of these. I used to run one of these, unpainted obviously. And then there's another one. So this is the other one here. So I actually had 2 of them, but I only ran one. And then I ran another one of those Annihilation Barges, which is one with that epic D cannon on it. You can see the commander sits up the top there. So yeah, we'll be finishing these up, guys, girls and people, because I really want to get, you know, they're a fun army to play, and you know, I might make it my mission in 2020 to get, you know, these guys, make a really brutal sort of Necron force. So here's an unfinished monolith. Finish that up. The parts will be around somewhere. But yeah, I ran 2 monoliths at one point. And in the box here, there's more of these little speeder dudes. This is the commander from the Annihilation Barge. So yeah, I do have the bits everywhere, but I'm definitely going to have to do some repair on these guys. Canoptic spiders. These are awesome in the game. They basically spawn more scarabs. I had a fair few of those as well lying around. So probably not all in this boxes, but that's okay. Yeah. So it's been a while since I pulled out the Necrons, but you know, I thought it's pretty good time to do it. And they just, I don't know, you know, like I was painting them up, I was doing it, and they just, there's one of the Tesla things from the, gotta save that one, put that aside, because I'm gonna need that later. And, yeah, but they just got so shafted in 8th. You know, I'm really hoping in 9th, like I'm not liking the rules too much so far for 9th yet, guys. But hopefully we can get them. You know, it's going to be right. Okay, so here's some more Necrons actually painted. I knew I had more warriors somewhere. I've probably even got more than this. I didn't paint these, by the way, so just to let you know, some of them I've gone through, I've undercoated and stuff. But like a lot of these I just bought painted. I think these ones I picked up in Perth, Western Australia, at a shop down there somewhere, which is really cool. Yeah, even got the price on one. Let's have a look. So I bought this Necron for $2. Ha ha ha. That's a bargain. That's a bargain. I got him painted, Perth, Western Australia. So anyway, yeah. So Necrons, you know, easy to paint. You can get them going really cheap. And you've got some Immortals here. These are part of the batch. So yeah, they've got the double Gauss or whatever it is. So yeah, these guys I think had the Tesla guns or something, the heavy ones. Yeah. Oh look, I need to go through all these guys and have a look, and we'll sort this army out and see how it's all going. But we'll get these guys, we'll refurbish these guys for sure. So anyway, yeah, more warriors there, and like I said, I'm almost certain I've got even more stuff lying around. Of warriors. I know I've got another Tesseract Vault lying around, that's for sure. But I just want to get this video out fast because, you know, get the videos going back on the channel again. So more Necrons. Let's just zoom in on the camera a bit here. Not out in. So guys, really quick reposition. I'll probably edit that out anyway. All good. Alright, so cool, let's have a look in this box. So this box here, there's a lot of Doom Scythes and stuff. And we got these barges here. I think well, these are the Annihilation barges, I think. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, they were cool. These aren't, I didn't paint these either, but these are part of the army that I bought down in Bondi, the story I told you. More spiders, more barges. I'm really going to have to sort a carry system out for these. Yeah, now I've got more of these croissant flyers as well, in another box mixed up somewhere. Command barge. So this is going to have to fix this up, but this is a command barge where there's like a HQ who sits there. I never ran that, but I just thought it was a cool model. It was pretty underpowered. And, oh, my Triarch Stalker isn't in here. Yeah, there's definitely, guys, there's definitely another box, so it's all good. There's definitely stuff missing here. So, yeah, so we've got the two scythes here, which are really cool, and then this guy here, the different weapons and stuff, which are awesome. The rest of it's basically just the Tomb Raiders, or Crypt Raiders, whatever they're called. And then going through, and then this is where it gets fun. Here are my, like, 20 Wraiths. So, this is going back from 7th edition. So, there was a time when basically Wraiths were, like, super OP. And I just used to run, like, the bulk of these guys just all at once. So, these guys were, like, just OP as hell. In 7th, from what I can remember, and they're all sort of, yeah. I love the model too of these Wraiths. They're really fantastic. They're very intimidating, you know, and they kind of remind me of those things from the Matrix, you know, those spider things that Neo sort of has a round with or so. But yeah, so that's them there. I'll just see if I can pull this back up to the camera. I don't think I'm going to paint over these. I'll leave them as they are. They're not the best painted. I didn't paint these. These were part of the Necrons that I bought from my little story. But yeah, so I'll leave them as they are. They're good enough. They're tabletop standard, in my opinion. This is what I would class, and yes, I know spect. I know that's not what it means, but it's just the way I say it. So, yeah, this is what I would class as tabletop standard, where it's just, you know, and, you know, like, I'll show you a tutorial how to speed paint this really quick. I believe that these Crons were used as in-store models. That's why they didn't go too crazy with them. But, like, it's Necrons, you know? They're, like, just metal robot Terminators. You don't have to go ballistic crazy with them. So, yeah, anyway. All right, fantastic, everybody. Look, thanks for watching. And we'll leave the video there. As I said, there are more models. There are another box or two of these, but we'll leave it there for now. And what I'll do is, on the 25th, I'll go out, I'll buy those paints, subscriber requests, and I'll see what I can mix up in my little alchemy lab here. What combos, painting combos we can do to paint the Necrons. I already have some ideas, some really good ideas. And you know, Necrons are really fun to paint, and I'd like to put together a little bit of a list anyway for 9th edition. You know, and I have a feeling Necrons are going to be in a very good spot, at least, you know, at the start in 9th edition, because Games Workshop are going to pump them pretty well, and then, you know, so they could basically have a user-friendly enemy that they can just bash up, because, you know, that it's easy for them to use Necrons because they're not people, so they don't have to worry about people complaining that, oh my god, you know, Games Workshop is so bad, it's so horrible, you know, they're like, there's so much killing and murder in it, you know, and group, you know, PETA and all this kind of save the animals shit. Not that I have anything against saving the animals. Of course, it's good to save the animals, but I remember there was this bloody letter sent to Games Workshop from PETA saying that, like, they should stop selling space wolves because the wolves had fur pelts on them, and yeah. So anyway, I just think that's a bit silly. You know, not the idea behind it, but just the fact that, you know, things are toys, right? They're just toys, you know. I've never ever been motivated to go and even buy a pelt, to wear a pelt of a wolf or a dog or a fox around my neck because Horus does, or a space wolf does. It just doesn't cross my mind, and I don't know, you know, if anybody, like, would ever do that. Anyway, all right, everybody, look, Brother Stavanis here. I'll catch you in the next video. Fantastic, everybody. Stay safe.